What is BYO in Australia? The Aussie tradition every newcomer must know. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Australia Tales. Today we're diving into something that might sound simple, but it's actually a big part of Australian life. The BYO culture. You'll see it written outside restaurants, printed on invitations and even mentioned in casual conversations. So what does BYO really mean? Why is it such a big deal in Australia? And what should newcomers know before turning up empty-handed at a party? Stay tuned till the end because this video will not only help you avoid awkward BYO mistakes but also make you blend in like a local. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Australia Tales. And if you've had a funny BYO experience, share it below. Alright, so what is BYO? BYO stands for Bring Your Own. Simple, right? But in Australia, it's more than just a phrase, it's a social custom. When Australians say BYO, they're usually talking about bringing your own alcoholic drinks like wine, beer or cider, especially when you're going to someone's house, a barbecue or a restaurant that doesn't sell alcohol. But BYO can also mean bringing other things, food, plates, even camping chairs if it's a picnic. Australians love a good community gathering, and BYO fits perfectly with that relaxed, easygoing lifestyle. It's basically their way of saying, we'll host but you bring the good vibes and maybe a bottle or two. How BYO works in restaurants. If you've ever eaten out in Australia, you've probably seen a sign outside that says, BYO wine only, or licensed and BYO. This means the restaurant lets you bring your own drink, usually wine but sometimes beer too. Because getting a liquor license in Australia can be expensive and complicated. Some smaller restaurants like local Thai, Indian or Italian spots, skip that cost and instead allow BYO. Here's how it works. You bring your own sealed bottle of wine never opened beforehand. When you arrive, give it to the staff. They'll open and serve it for you, but they'll often charge a corkage fee, usually between $2 to $10 per person depending on the place. It's polite to ask, is it okay if we BYO? When booking. Also, no, you can't bring a bottle of whiskey and start pouring shots. Restaurants that say, BYO wine only, actually mean it. And don't forget, BYO doesn't mean bring your own food unless clearly mentioned. It's just for drinks unless it's a potluck or party situation. BYO at parties and barbecues. Now, here's where BYO really shines, the Australian social scene. When you get invited to a housewarming, barbecues or picnic, you'll often see BYO drinks, or BYO plate written on the invite. This doesn't mean your host is being cheap. In fact, it's considered respectful and thoughtful to bring your own drink because everyone has different tastes, beer, wine, soft drink, or even sparkling water. Australians are chill, but one thing that's a bit awkward is showing up empty-handed. Even if the host says, oh, don't worry about bringing anything, it's still good manners to bring something small, maybe a bottle of wine, a dessert, or even a bag of chips. It's like an unwritten Aussie rule, bring your own and share if you can. The famous, bring a plate tradition, this one confuses a lot of newcomers, and it's even mentioned in that Instagram post you saw. If someone says bring a plate in Australia, they do not mean to show up with an empty plate. They mean, bring a dish of food to share with everyone. Could be a salad, snacks, or even a homemade curry. So if you ever get a message saying, barbeques this Saturday, BYO drinks and bring a plate. It's not a cutlery shortage. It's a shared meal. This idea helps hosts manage costs and keeps things casual. It's part of what makes Australian gatherings feel so friendly. Everyone contributes a little and nobody feels pressured to provide everything. And remember the golden rule. Generosity is appreciated, but modesty is key. You don't have to bring a 3-tier cake or 5 bottles of wine. Just bring something reasonable and thoughtful. Why BYO is loved in Australia? BYO represents everything Australians value: fairness, independence and community spirit. It keeps things simple and affordable, and it encourages everyone to pitch in. For many newcomers, BYO might feel a little strange at first, especially if you come from a culture where the host provides absolutely everything. But once you experience it, you'll realize it's one of the best ways to make social life easier. Imagine a beach barbecue in Queensland, friends spread out on picnic blankets. Some bring sausages, some bring salads, everyone has their own drink and laughter fills the air. That's BYO culture, equal, relaxed and full of good vibes. BYO in workplace or formal events. Even at work gatherings you might see BYO, for casual parties. Of course, not during office hours, But for after-work barbecues or Christmas lunches, it's normal for everyone to bring their own drinks or snacks. Some offices even do BYO Lunch Fridays, where everyone brings their favorite homemade meal instead of buying out. It's not only about saving money but sharing cultural flavors too. A few BYO etiquette tips. 1. Always check first. Before bringing alcohol, confirm if the event is BYO or licensed. Some venues, parks, and beaches have restrictions on alcohol. 2. Label your drink. If you're at a big barbecue, there'll be dozens of bottles in the esky. Use a marker or sticker with your name, or you'll never see that cider again. 3. Share politely. It's nice to offer others a glass, but don't feel you must share everything. Australians respect personal boundaries. If someone says, "Help yourself," then you're good. 4. Take leftovers home. If you brought a dish or drink and it's mostly untouched, it's totally fine to take it back. Just say, "I'll grab my stuff, thanks, that was awesome." 5. Be considerate. Don't bring 10 drinks and finish them all alone in 2 hours. BYO is social, not a competition. BYO in regional areas versus big cities. In cities like Sydney or Melbourne, BYO restaurants are very common. In fact, many locals prefer them because it's cheaper to bring your own wine than buy a $15 glass. In smaller towns, the spirit of BYO is even stronger. People bring chairs, snacks, everything. If you ever go to a rural event, don't be surprised if someone says, "We've got the Barbie, you bring the rest." It's part of that self-reliant, friendly, Aussie personality. BYO for non-alcoholic people. Don't drink alcohol? Totally fine. You can BYO soda, juice, kombucha, or even tea. No one will judge you. Australians are pretty respectful about personal choices. In fact, many gatherings now include mocktails or alcohol-free zones, especially for family or multicultural events. BYO is about inclusion, not about what's in your glass. How to check if a place is BYO. For restaurants, visit their website. They often mention BYO wine only, or licensed and BYO. Check Google Maps, many listings show if they're BYO under details. You can also just call and ask. Australians appreciate it when you check rather than assume. For events, if you see BYO on the invite, bring something. If nothing is mentioned, it's polite to ask, "Hey, do you want me to bring drinks or a plate?" That one question can save you from awkward moments and make you look like a thoughtful guest. Final thoughts. BYO shows the Aussie spirit in the end. BYO isn't just about saving money or rules, it's about connection. It's about showing up prepared, sharing, and being part of a relaxed community. Australians love people who join in, help out, and enjoy the moment, and BYO is the easiest way to do all three. So next time you're invited to a barbecue or spot a BYO sign outside a restaurant, smile and think, "Alright, I'm ready for this Aussie moment." And that's it for today's video on BYO culture in Australia. I hope this helps you feel more confident the next time you're invited to an event or restaurant here. If you've ever had a funny or surprising BYO experience, share it in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories and tips about life in Australia.